welcome to the Movieception Show. My name is Fariba, and tonight we're about to watch the penultimate episode of House of Dragon Season 3. That means we're getting to the end of Season 3, of course, but not only that, but we're also getting down to the end of the series in general, because as I said before, the plan is that the show is going to run for 4 seasons. This itself has been confirmed by the showrunner, Brian Condell, and now we're actually inching closer and closer to the end of the road of this story that has been known as the Targaryen Civil War. Of course, adapted based on the fact that it is based on Fire and Blood. So there you have that. But let's talk about Season 3, just because, a lot has transpired. We know that Rhaenyra is now on the throne, but no, there's been a lot of setbacks, roadblocks, issues, challenges along the way, especially with Aemond Hightower basically being the main villain of this season. He is causing a lot of issues for Rhaenyra and her reign, and now it's just a matter of seeing how this is going to lead up to. Now, of course, I've been hearing a little bit about the Battle of Tumbleton. It does seem as so that that's going to be the final episode, so and I've been kind of hearing bits and pieces about it, but aside from that, I know there is a battle coming up, and I've said it before, I have not read the actual, book, so I only know bits and pieces, but I'm just going along the way and then learning kind of what those changes are once those episodes actually eventually drop. But from what we last remember, Rhaenyra sent Alicent to go and do her assassination against her own son. We know for a fact that Daeron is technically the challenger to Rhaenyra's throne, yet it's really his uncle, Aemond Hightower. Of course, we've been seeing some other issues that's been going all around. Daemon trying to get, sort out the situation with Fleabottom and some of the guys who have been terrorizing the City Watch, which of course we've now seen most of them have now have decided to resign from that role. It's been quite a rocky ride so far in terms of Rhaenyra's reign. Now it's just a matter of seeing how we're going to see Season 3 conclude that, and how that's going to lead up into Season 4, and how it's going to eventually start wrapping up all the storylines. So yeah, I don't even want to wait any longer. I think I've already blabbered too much, so without further ado, let's get right down into watching the penultimate episode of House of Dragon Season 3. Oh, I think people might be right about what this episode is going to be about, huh?
Helena.
She does not look good, guys. I think she gave her that tea.
I'm sorry to disturb your rest. Sister, I believe that you may be a... What of Daemon? Have you seen him?
There was.
The Winter Wolf. I may compel you as your queen. Now tell me what you know. Tell me there has been no mistake. That I will prevail as the gods must surely intend. Tell me.
If I am aware of history, and if Joffrey's right.
Mother.
Well, that was quick.
I told you I would come. Your sister was taken. But I managed to stay hidden, to escape. You've been so clever to remain here. How could I forsake my best and truest son? You're all I have left.
Even he feels a little weirded out. Okay, this has to be some kind of manipulation tactic. No, 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 no. This is fucked up. This is the most fucked up thing.
I will give you a son.
Oh, is that Alice?
Aemond.
Yeah. Okay. So, this is called Oedipus complex, guys. If you guys are aware of Freud.
Have you seen
Sigmund Freud. The infamous Oedipus complex, guys. No, that's so effed up. But also, I'm glad it wasn't actually Allison. Like, the real Allison. Oh. Man, Aemon has some issues. Oh, what timing?
Aemond.
What timing? Oh my god! Oh, what a visual. What an image.
That ambitious Dornish friend died in the mud for nothing. It is no matter. I have a piece on the board now that will bring the bitch to her knees.
And what is that?
Huh? Oh, did you
Where
hear
is she?
about
Where's
Rhaena?
Rhaena?
Yeah. Okay,
I
yeah.
see we are dispensing with courtesies.
You may blunt Rhaenyra's wrath, but you will not evade it. Give me a day. Please.
Has he ever said please before?
She has been here and there, seeking news of Vale.
If either of us were to marry, that is, if either of us gained the favor of some highborn lady.
He has spoken to you then? Your brother?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Is it Vhagar?
No.
Is that sheep stealer?
I did not think us like to escape the red to his own person. He is a great...
He's like, is this real? Is this real?
You are all I have left.
Oh, it's like pressing a whole reenactment. Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, then.
No stranger.
Ah, there you are. You're just in time for supper.
Oh, she is not delighted.
Wonder how something so slippery in substance can truly be benign. Do try the wine.
Oh, so he's alive.
Find it wards off the fetid
So I
air of
figured.
the place.
And dwarves are clawing at our gates.
Oh, he should have said a sing off. Oh, yikes.
Do you know? Your wife, of course, was of their blood. But that ended all too predictably. I would think, after having seen how they devour one of their own.
You do not speak of his wife like that.
I would like to return to my cell.
As you please.
With an army at the gates. I'm supposed to be the king. What sort of ruler am I? Am I to sit by, impotent, while a madman offers us up for the slaughter?
Oh, so he knows too.
And all
He
of our
understands.
men with us. Rhaenyra may keep a crown for all I care.
He's sounding
Frankly,
like
it is
Allison.
outrageous. There is a campaign against me, jeering and spent. As fast as they are gathered, it's as if I have been installed here as some sort of scapegoat.
He knows. And she's.
Has there been any word from Lord Corlys? Not
Your
known.
Grace, he has a rider.
A new
Oh,
rider.
fuck.
I could not say.
That is not good.
We gave chase,
That is
but
not
lost him
good.
in the hills.
That's not good. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Ho ho ho.
That head Damon brought to you, can you see?
She saved my life.
At whose behest? Your lord's?
I generally...
She is a lady. And a maester of sorts.
You Targaryen boys all want the same thing, don't you?
In search of your friend, Lannister. Something about the Queen's gold. They'll be here before we know it. You best be on the move.
I cannot leave him to face an army meant for me.
They're fleeing.
There is nothing for me to do. May the Seven be ever at your side.
You would abandon your master?
I am a cripple, Sir Tyland. Through story and song.
Thailand, stop.
Your Grace.
Is he attacking his own daughter?
You should not have come! Did you think she would not hear of this?
Stay back! You will not heed me!
Rhaena's just dumb. Oh, yay.
Let me help you then. You cannot battle Vhagar alone. But the two of us may yet prevail.
Why would you do such a thing?
My brother sank into sadness. I was alone, just as you've been.
Interesting.
I should have done better, Rhaena.
Uh-oh.
You lie!
I did not summon them.
You betray your own daughter!
I have not, I swear it.
Oh, and it's Rhaenyra. Oh, she came. Oh, fuck. Oh, she's truly fucked. Oh my god. Oh no, this is so...
Call off your dragon! What is your agreement with Sheep Stealer's Rider? Answer carefully, you will not have another chance to deceive me.
I never wished to deceive you.
Then speak!
Call off your dragon!
This is so bad. This is so bad. Yikes.
Rhaena?
The truth will come out.
It wasn't you.
Family drama.
She was Sheep Stealer's Rider! All this time, you knew.
Oh no.
Mom Damon! Go!
Wow. That was actually a really good battle, not gonna lie.
Look at you. Standing at the foot of the throne wearing a silk worth a year of my earnings, promising to whisper into the ear of a queen.
Mm-hmm.
You thrill now to always and ever remain a whore.
Yikes.
Aemond?
Mother.
Can we not go through this again?
Oh,
I will take my leave, if that would behoove you.
glad you came.
She implored me not to tell you. You are my wife. She's my daughter. One I have long neglected.
No.
Idiot.
I love that was just so nonchalant too. I believe I know what that scene is about. Oh man, everything's turning cold.
You will be queen for many years after this, and your children's children after you.
Is that you, Tywin Lannister?
Your queen's been looking for you. Tell us where the gold is. I am Aegon Targaryen! Viserys' true heir! The 6th king of the Andals and the Rhoynar and the First Men! I was anointed by the High Septon in the light of the Seven, and it is in their light that I stand. The warrior's sword will be judgment upon you.
Uh-oh, there's a dragon.
Yes. Yes, cowards. You might righteous.
Or is that
and
somebody?
glorious!
Vhagar?
Sunfire.
Oh! Is that Sunfire? So he is alive!
Dracarys.
I guess we knew he was alive, so... That's quite a bougie dragon. Ooh.
Decent ale, that. I thought you might enjoy it.
Fuck.
Last time that you could gift me a lordship and a castle.
Oh, he gives two shits about you, man.
Honey Hope.
Well, there you go. I know about this
They
one.
will laugh at you no more when they see you as you are.
No. They will burn.
So, that was the penultimate episode, The Calm Before the Storm, and let's just say what a fantastic episode. I feel like this is maybe, again, I know I keep saying that this season has been feeling like the most Game of Thrones like in a while, but this is probably maybe the best that we've seen in a long time that really combines a great deal of dialogue, drama, action, tragedy in some ways, if you think about it. I mean, this is a very, very fantastic episode because there's just so much going on, and yet it's just brewing in so much drama, and yet at the same time, I know we're like getting down to the end of season 3, and we're only just about to get to what could be basically the big battle in the season 3 finale. And I think we're just starting to see more and more of how much things are escalating in this episode. Now, firstly, can I just say, I think the dragon sequence, because I want to talk about that first, because I mean, honestly, I was like holding my breath, because like, in a sense, I already know what's gonna happen, but then because there's been so many changes already with what's been happening from the show compared to, you know, the book Fire and Blood, that I'm like, okay, maybe there could be some changes and something bad actually might happen sooner than expected, or it may change course from what has already been, you know, written in terms of, you know, Westerosi history. And so I'm not gonna lie, I was literally holding my breath, because like already the whole Nettle story was already changed, so it's like anything could have happened. So yeah, I was holding my breath. I am literally was just like engaged with watching the whole dragon battle. I think that may be like maybe the first time we've seen so many dragons all in a single combat. Of course, being like a 3v1 type of scenario, because Sheepstealer is a wild dragon compared to the other three. There have been a little bit more tamed, been more trained, has been, you know, under the obedience of a rider, right? And so of course it made sense why the scenarios were like this, but even that being the case, I gotta say, like, that, what a fantastic battle that we got. I mean, I guess you can say battle. It's a little bit odd because it's not necessarily battle, but it's more like survival. But yeah, that being the case, I think, you know, I was really just holding my breath, because I'm like, oh, something's about to happen to Cyrex and or Caraxes or any one of those dragons, and thankfully they both came out alive, because Sunfire did get quite a lot of burns and, you know, uh cuts and whatever, right? But I was very, very concerned. But I have to say, what a really great, like, I'm sure this is one thing that a lot of people have been waiting for such a long time, especially for a show that is literally called House of the Dragon. And of course, like with Game of Thrones, we didn't have a whole lot of dragon battles, because of course those three dragons by Daenerys were all siblings, so there weren't anybody to really compete against them. Aside from the fact that, you know, there was that long night episode, and that was just by the time, you know, Viserys had just turned into a walker kind of dragon. So that's maybe the one exception, but even then, that episode was so hard to see. If you guys remember, it was such a really dark episode that even I couldn't see half the shit that was going on with that battle. This thankfully was in the daytime. But I just say that was quite a really great battle that we saw here, like seeing all the dragons battle each other out, and that too with like a lot of experienced riders. I mean, you have Daemon, who's experienced rider, you have Rhaenyra, who's experienced rider. Adam, I mean, he's just getting used to it, so I don't know if you can really call him an experienced rider as of yet, but you can see how he's a very, you know, resourceful person, considering the fact that he's a commoner who just managed to get access to a dragon. So but yeah, I have to say that was a great action sequence right there. I was just like, okay, this is like, because I literally, like, once it ended, I was just like, oh, breathing again. So I have to say, what a great way to kind of set that whole scenario up. I think that alone may have just elevated this whole episode. I'm sure a lot of people will either agree or disagree with that, but I mean, that alone was just like the one part that really got me, like I haven't felt this much of emotions in a long time. In a very, very long time. Let alone there's been a lot of other emotions I was feeling in this episode. I mean, you got, you know, a lot of, you know, like, you're at one point you're laughing, at another point you're like holding your breath, and then of course you having this whole cringe moment where Aemond can't seem to stop thinking about his mother, and in a more very sexual way. Oedipus complex much. Yeah, as if Sigmund Freud was already onto something. But that, I mean, honestly, what a way to kind of start that episode off, because I was just kind of like, what in the world's going on? Because we already knew that Alicent was on the way, but what a way to really kind of deceive us, and the fact that that wasn't really actually Alicent, that was that was really more so Alice, and I guess Aemon was projecting his mom when this whole thing was happening, or at least Alice kind of clocked that he has a little bit of like a mama's thing going on, so like she probably was like trying to use that to her advantage too, because like, I mean, of course we can see in the last few episodes how much she's trying to win over Aemond and, you know, in a sense become his lady, so like be betrothed to him, and we already know how much she really wants to become, you know, claim Harrenhal, so that's just another way of setting that whole relationship up. But thankfully that wasn't really what was actually happening. Thankfully, like, Allison came back, like, not even like a couple minutes, like not even a couple seconds later, and of course we saw that she tried to fulfill the orders of Rhaenyra as a way to somehow protect Helena, of course. Now, I assumed something was about to happen with Helena. I thought this was going to become a very Helena-centric episode. I guess not, because we did see the episode itself start off with her, but that's not the case. So, yeah, but I am a little bit aware of what her fate lies, and I know that one's a very tragic one. We'll see if this is something we'll see by the end of by next week's episode, or if they're gonna hold it off until season 4. But yeah, there's that. So we talked about Aemond and the whole situation with him and his mom and Alice, and how, and I'm sure that, you know, with the fact that Alice, and I'm sure like her plan may have failed because Alice may have already clocked that she's probably like up to no good and probably has some kind of antidote to reverse the poison or something like that. But I'm sure that's going to really hurt Alice in the long run, because now Aemon is probably going to have some kind of vendetta, anger towards not just, of course, his half sister, but now to his mom. So we'll see how that goes, because I'm sure that's going to cause a lot of issues. Because I from the sounds of it, it looks like so that he's probably going to survive season 3. So he's probably going to survive next week's episode. So that means that he probably will be returning for season 4 from the looks of it. But now it's like, okay, what does this mean in long term, or at least up until the end of this whole war? So there is that. Then the whole sheep stealer thing. I mean, I feel like we kind of been going back and forth about whether or not there's gonna be some element of Nettle's story that was gonna happen in this episode, and again, from what I've read, that was a huge change for this season, for this whole series in general, from the books, where there was apparently a separate character named Nettle who, you know, caused a lot of issues that actually was the reason why a lot of the relationship between with Daemon and Rhaenyra started to deteriorate. I think even at one point there was like a whole rumor about him having an affair, if I have that correct. And so from the looks of it, it looks like they removed that story arc and instead applied that to Rhaena, because now we have the whole sheep stealer thing that was going on. I was wondering where that was gonna go, because for a while we kind of been seeing Rhaena, but she hasn't been doing a whole lot, and now we see the consequences of that. So there is elements of the Nettle backstory, or the story itself, now being applied. We've seen how that's now deteriorated the relationship between Daemon and Rhaenyra now, because now it's like she can't even trust her own husband, who for a long time she's known that he's sometimes can be deceiving, can be a liar, but this is maybe the worst that he's ever done. So we'll see where that goes out as well. And of course we don't really see Daemon right after that, like what's going to happen afterwards. Is this going to cause misseed, whatnot? We'll see about that. Of course, again, we're getting into the Battle of Templeton, so how is that going to affect that? And I feel like we still are not even done yet, because then we have to go to the other half of the episode, where we see the white guy basically switching sides. So I just said, I'm a little bit aware of some details, and I was warned that there was going to be at least 2 drop riders who are going to betray Rhaenyra, and I guess that's the first one, which I feel like was kind of obvious, because already they were really kind of brewing the tension with that, and how he was banned from going to the tavern, how he was not allowed to talk to his friends anymore, how he's been told that he can only be in the tower and that's it, and then he needs to behave himself, which of course is going to be such an idiotic thing to happen for him, because it's like, you know, it's Ormond Hightower, right? So it looks as though that we have the first betrayal against Rhaenyra coming up. Now we'll probably see that that's going to be consequential going into Battle of Templeton, which I'm sure is, again, going to be next week's episode. So there's that. The fact that Daeron, I have to say, like, I mean, I feel like the more we see of Daeron, the more that I really start to sympathize that character, because you can tell, like, he acknowledges that he's just somebody who's being used as a pawn, and that he's in the middle of a whole conflict that he himself wants nothing to do with. And you can see, and it's kind of interesting, because, like, yes, he is a Hightower. Yes, he was raised by a Hightower. Yes, he's Alicent's son. And yes, he is maybe one of the last few characters who, like, you know, who would basically challenge Rhaenyra's crown. And yet you can see how he still has, like, he can still assume a lot of Alicent, where he acknowledges that the last thing he ever wants to do is just to be the king, that for all he cares, he doesn't want it, that he's fine with Rhaenyra taking it, and that he probably actually acknowledges the fact that his own uncle may actually be, you know, the worst of the two, if it does get down to this whole issue of the throne. So we'll see more of that, of course. Again, it seems as though like maybe he'll probably survive by the end of the season as well. And it's just going to be something that's going to carry over into the final season. And then of course the last part, I think a lot of people were talking about this online because I was seeing a lot of discord about Sunfire. Because a couple episodes ago, I think it was maybe like the second or third episode, like it was like one of the early episodes, we saw him talking to Sunfire, and he himself was saying, oh, he's probably alive and he sounds alive, and then Laris is like, no, you're just imagining things. And then I think at that point a lot of people were theorizing that he's probably alive, that he's probably just kind of sleeping, resting, hibernating, who knows what. So the fact that, I'm sure a lot of people are very vindicated by the fact that Sunfire is actually alive. And we saw the last moment right there where he just comes in last minute just to save him and Tywin Lannister. So I'm sure that's going to be something that Rhaenyra is going to be so excited to hear, that there's now going to be another dragon that just appeared out of nowhere, because I'm sure one of the Manderley guys are going to go and inform the crown about the situation. So not only is Vhagar on the loose, we have Vhagar on the loose without Aemond, then we have Sheepstealer, who survived that battle, of course, wounded, and then now we also have Sunfire, who is actually very much still alive and now has reunited with Aegon, which is now adding to another issue for Rhaenyra. So it's like both her brothers, who have been trying to claim the throne, are still going to be the biggest challengers. And then you have Aemond Hightower, who is also trying to challenge her and doing so in a way that it can basically, overtake all of the Targaryen legacy and put himself on power. Yeah, what a mess. But I love this kind of mess because, it's just building up to what is going to be the next battle that we're going to have. As I said, I'm aware that there's a battle of Templeton happening. It's been something that's been brewing up basically by the beginning of the season, and now it's just a matter of seeing the outcome of that. But not only that, but a lot of what we've seen today may have also set up the final season as before. After this one, we only have one full season left, which means I'm probably only going to have 8 more episodes after that point, which means we're getting to the beginning of the end of not just the season itself, but the whole story in general. So we only have like roughly 9 to 10 episodes left, again, depending on what Ryan Condal decides to do with the final season, because I'm sure they're already at work trying to wrap up the story, because we are at that point where everything's starting to wrap up and seeing what will eventually be the consequences. Again, I'm already aware of like what really happens with Rhaenyra. I think even Joffrey Baratheon himself had mentioned this in Game of Thrones, how really tragic situation happens with her and the fate that she ends up having. But we'll see. A lot of things are brewing: deception, betrayal, lots of dragon action, lots of characters that are just showing up out of nowhere, cringe moments, and yeah, I think this is maybe the most emotionally thrilling episode I've had in a long time coming from Game of Thrones. That is not to say that, it compares to A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. That was just an incredible first season. I'm excited to see what season 2 is going to offer. And that's a show that doesn't even have any dragons. There is going to be no dragons. There are going to be no dragons either, because like by that point dragons have been extinct. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. I'm enjoying the show so far. I feel like, again, we've been getting probably the most Game of Thrones season in a long time. But that being the case, I want to know your thoughts. This is the penultimate episode. We only have one more episode after this, yet it looks as though that we're about to get into Battle of Templeton. That being said, a lot has brewed in this episode. Sunfire is somehow still alive, so what does this mean moving forward? How is this going to impact Rhaenyra? Of course, the Nettle story was changed, and so we've now seen the consequences of that. Rhaenyra now knows the truth, and therefore, what does this mean in terms of Daemon and Rhaenyra's story at this point? Has it been totally tarnished, or is there still any kind of redemption left out of that whole relationship? So it seems that she's kind of really given up on him based on what we saw with her in Mysteria. That being the case, Templeton, Hightower has somehow gone one guy to switch sides from the Targaryens to Hightowers. So how much of that's going to be consequential to the battle leading up to the Battle of Templeton? On top of that, how are we going to end off with season 3, right? I think that's always the biggest question, is how is how are each of the seasons going to be organized by the showrunner, how they're going to cover each element of the book, how are they going to cover them, and yet, what will be covered, right? What will be removed, what will be added. I think there's gonna be an element of that as well. So I do want to know your predictions, your thoughts going to the final episode next week. Because after that we only have one full season left. But that's all to say. Let me know your thoughts below and make sure to like and subscribe.